Hey everyone, my name is Mig, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my accomplishments for 2024 and what I've done with so far with game development and what is new and what I'll be doing for 2025. So this will be a quick recap of all the games I made and all the stuff I've done and learned throughout the day of game development, especially streaming. I've been doing more of streaming more often now. Sort of like maybe close to the end of 2024, I started doing more of, inline streaming, I guess you can say more consecutive streams. Before starting 2024, 2023, I wasn't streaming as much, maybe like twice or three times a day, or I should say a week. But now I'm doing a little bit more consistently, doing more stuff. I am getting a little bit more viewers, so it helps. And I'm doing more stuff on YouTube, which actually really helps as well. But anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about the games I made. There's this one game. This is starting with this one in February. This is called Cupid's Revenge. This was a game I made in February. It's kind of like my favorite top-down shooters. If you guys don't know me, I love top-down shooters. So I kind of like made this one real quick for a game jam I'm hosting too as well. I It was kind of fun to make. I like doing this one. This other one was kind of like a warrior-inspired game, Warrior's World. You kind of like can't die on this one. It's more of a cozy where the idea is to collect items and go about. And this other one, it's more of an inventory game I wanted to try out. I didn't want to mess with my current game, so I wanted to try out crafting and doing inventory stuff like that. And this other game is Curses the Werewolf. This is where I really started getting into more 3D and learning Blender. I did the skeletons, I did some of the items and rocks. And this is another item I did in Blender. This was a kind of like a number game where it's kind of like numbers are attacking you, and you can switch between weapons or magic spells that you can do, and you collect kind of like a survival type of game that I made within 2 weeks. It's more of like a quick game jam I wanted to try out, starting numbers and doing particle effects and stuff like that. And speaking of Blender, this is Blender. I wanted to go easy, so the first thing I did in Blender was an easy center gun. I wanted to learn how to extrude, how to modify, how to do specific objects in Blender. Nothing too advanced, like a simple tree. Trees aren't so bad to make in Blender. There's no rigging. There's really nothing complicated with it. I would suggest just starting with simple objects, trees, stuff like that. And then I started getting into rigging. So this is the example. The first character I made is a character magician. It's rigged. It's fully animated and modeled, and I'm glad it came out. As well as this other mutant rat that I made. Rigging, it's complicated, but I got really good at it. I started understanding it better, how to set up rigs and stuff like that. Once I get more, I guess you can say more confident, I got into doing other structures, like for example, this fortress and castle, which I really love doing. I love doing these sort of items like fortress and maps, all in 3D. This was something I always wanted to do. I wanted to get more complex too as well, so I made this little beholder monster. I wanted to make all these bones and try to pose it and move it around and have it animated. It wasn't actually easy to make. It was took me a while, but I streamed the whole process, which I'm surprised. I was like, I'm gonna stream it. Let's see how far I make. Let's see how far I can get in doing these characters and setting up the rig. Surprisingly, I've gone pretty far with all this setup. How far I've been making stuff. I think with Blender, the hardest part, and I can play here. I think the hardest part when it comes to Blender is just really understanding the process, how to model. That's more the structure wise of modeling. Once you get into the structures, you need to learn how to do the rigging process or how to create the armatures. For me, honestly, it took me a good 2 months to understand how to create armatures. Armatures in Blender are not easy. Regardless what people tell you, it's not an easy process that you'll learn right away. I looked at all the YouTube tutorials. I looked at the Blender notes and everything, like how to set up what are certain modifiers, certain objects, certain what is an extrude really. I had no idea what the heck extrude was until I know what certain keywords like topology, that sort of thing. Somebody would tell me, "Hey, you know the topology on this?" Like, what is a topology? Before then, I had no idea. But now, luckily, I've been learning a lot more. Now I've been learning a lot how to do certain things with rigs, how to set up the weight textures, how to set it up in a way that it doesn't skew the model and it makes it perfectly. And I think it's taking me a long process. It for me originally I wanted to make 3D games, but I think I wasn't very confident. I didn't think I could learn Blender, right? I first started thinking, oh well, I'll try Blockbench or I'll try some other 3D model that's easier. But after a while, I said, I could probably start again in Blender. Because originally when I first started, I was like, oh, I can't do this. It's too much. But as a total developer, you start realizing you can pick up certain things, like certain assets you can create. Like pixel art for me, at first pixel art was something I totally didn't think I could do, even animation. But as soon as I started trying it out, trying Blender, I was surprised. I started realizing, oh yeah, maybe it's just all in my head. In reality, it is all in your head. I think solo development, for me, anyways, solo development is just all in your head. It's all what you can accomplish. So that's really it for 2024. What's left? What's next for 2025? You ask, and let me open up Blender here. So what is next for 2025? That's the bigger question for game development, specifically for me as a solo developer. Um, I'm not quitting my job. That's the first thing. I'm not quitting. If something happens, I will find another full-time job. I still want to do game development as a side hustle or as a kind of like a hobby sort of thing. Once I start picking up some money, I can start kind of thinking, okay, well, maybe I can kind of switch out of it or I can find another part-time. It's not going to be something I can, I don't want to turn off. That's the first thing and foremost. I think you should always consider is, money is kind of like a cushion so you can do your hobbies. So I would say stay in your job, just stay relax. I'm gonna for sure, right? I'm gonna continue doing this as a hobby. I'll continue doing more streaming, but I want to get really more into Blender and how to do more 3D animations or maybe 2D animations, stuff like that, more advanced stuff, where I want to get better with art and all that process. I am making a 3D game. It's an FPS shooter type of game. It's kind of like a boom shooter. I want to finish it for sure. I know it's been like 6 months since it started. It's in July, so it's close to. I think in February it's gonna be close to 7 months. So I want to finish that project for sure. Once I do that, I want to go back to a certain other projects. Like I did Ocean Boulder. This was a project I did in 2023. It's kind of like a 2.5D sort of game where it's more like a sprite with also two 3D objects, which I wasn't good at doing. But now that I know more, I have more experience doing. I can redo that game and then have less bugs on it, and kind of create it like a better demo and put it on Steam. Because originally I had a demo, but it didn't look good. It had way too many bugs. So now I want to redo it and then put up the better demo and have people play it. And I want to release more games on Steam. I want to release more games on itch, all those sort of objects, or I guess engines and stuff like that I want to do. As far as engines, I don't think I will try. Maybe I can try Unreal again. Originally, I stopped doing Unreal Engine, but I can go back. I can try to learn it a little bit. It's good to learn different game engines because you never know, right? Because it's good to kind of have that backup or have that kind of like mastery or generalist, like you can say, kind of like me, like be a generalist. 2025, I might actually start picking up a MIDI player and start learning to play music. I know music's the one thing I do lack, and I started making my own sounds, which is actually good. And I want to get into more doing more sounds, my own unique sounds, and my own unique music for it. I do need a teacher, so if you guys are willing to teach or somebody is willing to teach me music, I would appreciate it. It's one thing I haven't really touched on. Um, I want to get into a little bit more my own kind of like piano kind of sort of thing, kind of like a cool melody and beat sort of thing for my games. I just don't want to rely on others, or actually, if I do get somebody, for example, I can tell them, oh yeah, use this melody or use this sort of beat, so I don't kind of like feel like a dumb. I'm like, oh, I don't know, just make whatever you want. No, I want some knowledge. I want some knowledge, right? And then I can hire somebody. Say, hey, make me this beat, maybe this music with this sort of feel to it, right? And then I don't get any surprises. Go, oh yeah, maybe it's what I want. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I want for 2025. So you'll see more of me. You'll see a lot more streams from me in YouTube. So I'll be doing more of that. Keep an eye out. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you watch out for more videos. Thank you all. Make sure to like, subscribe if you guys like this video. Thank you all for listening to me. I'll see you guys next time.